Death da, I'll be knacking. Welcome to podcast number 104. We've been on our travels a bit again since I spoke to you last. On Friday we was up Tresparret. Now, Tresparret is one of the places that, unless you're going there for a reason, I don't think you'd ever go there. Because you don't know, a lot of people wouldn't even know it exists. And it's a lovely little village. If you ever, out that way, you want to just deviate off the road and, have a little drive through. But we was up there last Friday morning and it's so peaceful, really is. And then in the afternoon we had dear Trevor's funeral. And I think the one thing that stood out with that one was that his wife and a friend, they painted the coffin. And it looked fantastic. This has happened a few times now. One of the first families that did this actually said that some of their relatives used to live in Holland, I think. And over in Holland, this is a thing that quite often the family will do. They will paint the coffin. And the children would perhaps put handprints on and everything. And it's a lovely little touch. But the job they did with painting it was absolutely brilliant. It really was. And then the weekend come, which involved a little bit of cycling. Well, first of all, on Saturday, actually, I nearly forgot, I did spend about 4 hours queuing for Oasis tickets. And I thought what I'd do, I was there in the queue. I went on at 7:30 and the sale started at 9. And at 9:10, the website crashed. So I think basically I was right back to the beginning again. But anyway, at least I had it on in the background and I was doing my paperwork, did quite a bit of paperwork actually, and got to 11 o'clock. And what was happening, something I didn't realise they could do, this was Ticketmaster doing it, was as the tickets was selling, the remaining tickets was going up in price. And I thought that if you bought them at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, they'd still be the same if you bought them at 12 o'clock. But twin quite like that. So when it got to 11 o'clock, I thought, beggar this. So we went out on the push bikes. But I see they have released 2 more lots of dates now. So I might try and get a ticket. James, he managed to get a ticket one day. Daisy the another day, both at Cardiff. So we'll see. But at least I wouldn't waste my time. At least I was doing a bit of paperwork. And going back to the cycling, one thing that I must mention before I forget, because I did forget last week, and that's that this week is the Tour of Britain. And as you know, we're one of the sponsors for St Piran, the Cornish team down here, and they're competing in the Tour of Britain. And it is on ITV4, so you can always log on there, go on and watch it on playback catch-up or whatever they call it. But wishing the boys at St Piran all the best in the Tour of Britain. And I know I was intending to get the team owner, Ricky, on the podcast. And of course, I didn't get round to it. So I must make sure, beginning of next season, I'll get him on just to talk about his cycling life, but then also to talk about the cycling team St Piran. On Monday, we said goodbye to one of my father's old schoolmates. And that's John, dear of him. He was a school year older than father, but they'd known each other all their lives, both brought up in Bodmin, and we did have a lovely service there in Bodmin Parish Church. But Tuesday's funeral was a little bit different. You may well have seen the photos on our RJ Bray Facebook page. The family said we'd love it if you wear bright shirts, Hawaiian shirts, shorts, flip-flops, Crocs, whatever. So we did put a photo on our Facebook page of the 4 of us there as we was dressed at the funeral. And there was a few lovely comments. There was a funny one, Bob Tremain, I think he said about Dave Williams's legs should come with a government health warning. But it was a sight to see. But it was a brilliant funeral, absolutely brilliant. Most of the people there was dressed the same. And I'm sure that Roy would have loved it. Coincidentally, the next day we was up St Brewer Church for a funeral, which was where Roy come from. And one of the first mourners to come into church was Veronica. And she was there the day before. I think she might have been relieved, actually, to see that I was properly dressed on Wednesday anyway. But going back to Tuesday afternoon, I did have the afternoon off, and we went down to County Hall down in Truro. Now, the reason we was down there was that my father-in-law had been awarded with the British Empire Medal. So we was down at County Hall, and Colonel Sir Edward Bolitho, he did the presentation. 'Twas a lovely little afternoon, really. I think father-in-law was allowed to have about 15 of us there. So we went down in convoy. And over the years, I've put quite a few different initials after my father-in-law's name. And initially he thought it was abuse. But I did convince him that it was Cornish terms of endearment and that it wasn't abusive at all. So he's happy. But no, it was brilliant. Well done to him. It was like, I don't know if I did say just now, but 'tis for service he'd done to the communities. First up in England, I think, and then later down here in Lanreth and in Wadebridge. And the last bit of news I got before we get on to my interview this week was that you may well have seen on Facebook, our dear little maid, Days, got married to Jamie. And they eloped to the Isles of Scilly. Now, we've known about this for quite a while, and how I've kept it a secret, I don't know, but I've told nobody. And they went away, just the pair of them, weekend before last to the Isles of Scilly, and then I think it was the Wednesday they got married. And you may have seen the photos. I put them on Facebook. Days and Jamie put loads on, but 'tis lovely. I said, you might have remembered from a previous podcast, when Mother once broke the news to me that not all of her family was from Cornwall. And of course, as you may remember, I said, where am I from, Mother? And she said, the Isles of Scilly. So that was a relief. But I think we got Penders, I think, are in Mother's family tree, and Wolf, and that's Wolf spelt with a double O, W-O-O-L-F. So I think they come from Isles of Scilly as well. But 'twas lovely. I say they had brilliant photos. They had a fantastic time. They're back home now. So congratulations to Days and Jamie. So now we'll go over to my first part of my interview with Bob Tremain. And there'll be another part next week. And 'twas lovely to meet up with Bob. He lives, how shall I explain it? I'd say the Telskiddy side of St Mawgan. And dear of him, he's 92. Fantastic memory. I've known his wife Val for a long time because she was heavily involved with St Mawgan Church. So we spent many hours together down there on funerals in the past. But I'm sure you're going to love this. I say some of Bob's memories are absolutely brilliant. So I'll hand over to Bob now, and then I'll speak to him directly. So here it is. Get on, Bob. How we knacking?
Fine, you fine.
Proper job. Lovely.
Yeah.
It's brilliant to come and meet you here today.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been here a long time, you know.
Yeah. We'll go right back to the beginning, shall us?
Yes. Well, it's a long story, really. I was born at Trumbeath Farm, up the road,
Yes.
in half a mile. And I was born early, but I wasn't supposed to live because Mother had an illness not long before that she was sort of pregnant. They said you'll never carry the baby.
Oh dear.
So anyway, I was born.
Yeah.
And they put me in a cardboard box with a shawl over me and put me in front of the old Eiger, not the Eiger, the old Cornish Range.
Range, yeah.
And my aunt was there at the time. She said, well, we put about you was dead. So she said, after a time we heard a squawking noise.
Yeah.
And that was you. That was 1932.
30. God. So you was born at home there?
Yeah.
And you here all these years later?
Yeah. Well, we lived in the farm there for until about 1938, but we went to Mawgan school, and we went to school for, started at 5, and then at 11, the government brought in a scheme that you could go out and work on a farm.
Right.
For 10 full days or 20 half days.
Yeah.
This was with any kids. So at 11, I went to work, picking potatoes, dropping potatoes, and I didn't have didn't even have a flask at that time, so we carried a quart bottle of tea made up, wrapped up with paper, and we sat on the grass at Krypton.
Yeah.
And didn't drink that, but it got cold, we didn't know it.
Yeah.
But the farmer didn't care because he was having spuds picked up.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
We went out planting potatoes, earlies, and then after a time went out planting lakes.
Yeah.
And then led the horse up and down to bank them, to split them back.
Yeah.
To cover them in. Then we had to go out and do the same again, walk up between the rows with the horse on. That's a few weeks later.
Yeah.
And the farmer would be out in the hoe doing work so he didn't cut the potatoes up. Or then you go back to school a little while.
Yeah.
And the evacuees was in St. Mawgan at the time.
Right.
And they brought in an evacuee teacher. And she lived in the moor in a caravan. Now, do you know about Oak Apple Day?
No.
Well, Oak Apple Day is supposed to be when some old king hid in an oak tree. And they always kept that up at Mawgan.
Right.
And if you didn't have a oak leaf in your coat,
yeah,
you got stones from stingers.
Get away.
So it's unfair to the old teacher, really.
Yeah.
So she comes in and she comes with the school gate. His brother up behind her with his bunch of stingers. I don't know how much she managed to sting, but she had real thick clothes on, real old maid.
Yeah.
And he must have stung her.
Oh.
And she turned around and chased him.
Right.
And he went across the river on stepping stones. She went across the river, boy. She didn't touch those stepping stones. She ran through. She was really mad.
Yeah, I can imagine.
She went along the hedge at the playing field, and then they ran over the bridge. And the schoolmaster stopped my brother going down through the school and grabbed me. He said, "Let me deal with him. I think she would have killed me."
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know what treatment the schoolmaster gave. In the war years, we used to go and work for the War Agricultural, doing the same thing, picking spuds. And
yeah.
then when you weren't picking spuds after in the winter, you'd be in old barns, chaining them, breaking the shoots off.
Yeah.
And that went on and off like all my blinking life. Then when it come to holidays, well, you didn't think about holiday. No. You went and worked for somebody.
Yes.
And I worked in different farms for about 3 years. I worked in, not a farm, a garden in St. Callum, Bespolvins, with a bloke called Michael Rogers.
Right.
And, so they were gentry, like.
Yeah.
And they liked the boys from St. Mawgan because they would work hard.
I'll get away.
But anyway, then I left there. I left the farm. I went to work on the farm for about 4 years. And when I left the farm, I just jobbed around a bit.
Yeah.
RAF St. Mawgan was then opening up.
Right.
Because they'd been closed after the war. So I applied for a job there and got it. And stayed there until, not more than a few weeks there. And they called me up then because I was loyal for the army.
Of course, yeah.
See, it was the military as me.
Yeah.
So I went and done my national service in Germany.
Yeah.
And then I come back and I thought, I'll go lorry driving. And I didn't go too much on that.
Right.
Because it was in a quarry in disorder.
Yeah, yeah.
So then I went in and went back to the job. And, they had to give you a job back anyway. So they come around and said, "Do you want to come back?" So I said, "No." So I went back there and stayed there with the Air Ministry for 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
And then I went to go lorry driving again. And we went for Richards and Osborne then. They'd finished now anyway.
Yeah.
But they said, in the meantime, if there's much on, you go up and unload that lorry load of manure. But it was 100-weight sacks at that time. Oh. And they didn't have forklifts.
No.
You had to back them on a ladder.
Oh,
because they were storing them for farmers.
Right.
So then I got on after a time with the ready mix concrete company. And I had my own lorry there. You buy your own lorry. And I stayed there until I retired 27 years later.
Blimey.
So, but along the way, we did a bit of fishing with a local farmer.
Right.
All dead and gone now, you're right. So we went up a dozen steps, and you could look down off the cliff, and the tide was only about that deep, about 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah.
And you could see the sand, and there was 3 obstacles there. It looked like seaweed to me. He said, no, that's bass.
Right.
So he got dynamite with him in his hat and a fuse and his matches, and he went down over, and he took off his trousers, and he walked out, and his tail of his shirt was floating on the water.
Yeah.
And when he got fair way out, I don't like that. At that point from the top cliff, he's getting close to them.
Yeah.
So he just let his done it. And as the dynamite splashed in the water, these 3 things moved towards it. And the bomb, like a bomb went off, and he had these 3 grown bass.
Get away.
Oh, yeah.
So did you have to walk, going back to the early days, did you walk to school then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you walk to school, and we used to have pasties on Wednesdays.
Right.
And anybody could have a pasty for 6 months.
Right.
And half the people in Torcorn had pasties, and we used to 8 hours on the way, come home, deliver the pasties here, and then go back to school.
Okay.
And you didn't think nothing of it.
No.
Delivering papers, they used to go to Old Swinton and Old Torcorn, and we had to do it in our holidays as well.
Yeah.
And that's the time that we were working, perhaps carrying hay or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
was it a big school then?
no, not really. No. Well, they got extensions, these mobile classrooms every day, but same school there.
Yeah.
And my father and mother both went to that school.
Yeah. What was father and mother's names then?
That was William Tremain and Emmeline Alley.
Right.
She was Emmeline Alley Rodliff, that's her maiden name.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And I mean, she was born in Penbowes Farm.
Yes.
That's still there, Penbowes, right on the edge of the airfield.
Yeah. And father was up here, was he? Tremblay?
Yes, he was farming up here.
Yeah.
On the road to the town is a halfway house.
Yeah.
And all around that halfway house was owned and worked by my uncle.
Right.
And opposite side of the road from this halfway house was a locker, army locker, all galvanised and pretty rough.
Yeah.
And Uncle Tom said, that one fell off a lorry, I said, yeah. So he stayed there for months. So I go over one evening, and up with my van, I thought, oh, that one. Getting in, halfway in the van, I said, sudden job, I thought, shall I go and knock on the door and ask him? So I didn't. I managed to get the thing in and carried home. So sometime after my uncle came in our place, he said, Bobby said, Peter so-and-so was telling me that they took a whole locker that he had opposite side of the road. He said they nicked him from it there. So I said, they did. And he was standing by the locker.
Oh, no.
We never heard no more about it. The thing wasn't worth very much.
No. Oh, dear. Who did he grow up with then? Was there many neighbouring children your age?
Not really, not locally, no.
No. Who was your headmaster at school at the
Roberts.
time? Right. Yeah.
And I mean, he was wrong, really. We should have had our exemption card signed after 10 full days, but he never did, and that's why we worked right through the holiday, school to term and all.
Yeah. Who was your classmates back then?
Lloyd Hamley was dead and gone now.
Yeah.
John Rowland was still living.
Yeah.
The Masters, three Masters.
Yeah.
Parsons from over Iredensal, and they walked to school, see, from Iredensal to Mawgan. And the Hamleys walked from Trelance. That's some walking it. Yeah.
All winds and weather.
Yeah. And then when we had back of eating there, you only went to school 1 week, you'd go in the afternoons.
Right.
Well, in the afternoons, all the boys went up to school garden. Monday, Wednesday and Thursday.
I see.
It didn't leave much time in school to learn anything,
Did it?
No.
Was there Much bombing or anything in the war era?
Quite a bit, but not. It didn't affect us much either. But
No.
yes, you could see them. There's bombings and all and
Yeah.
local. There was one case of people called Roskilly who lived down at Trent, right on the edge of the airfield, and he was telling me, he said, a bomb dropped right on the end of the house and didn't go off.
Oh, hey.
So he said, we all went down and had a look at it and all, ring the police and the LRP people come out and see what. He said, they all at their shining their torch in here. So he said, well, father said, let's go and have a cup of tea. He went and have a cup of tea, the bomb went off.
Oh, no.
He said he blew every bloody window out of the house.
Oh.
So he said, father said, 'tis time to get out of here. But they're living today over, well, remains of family over on the main bridge road.
So when did he get married then?
1962. We've been here ever since.
Yeah. Was Val local then or no?
No, well, local, Probus.
Yeah.
But our family came down at the beginning of the war when it's bombing so much. And it was, turning as many of the cities as they could, weren't they?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
They came, her parents came down there, but she was born in Probus, but she's a gin Cornish. Well, she hadn't really, is it?
So she was brought up there, was she?
Yeah.
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 So where did he meet to then?
Down a little dance hall down Probus.
All right.
He's all there and dancing.
For getting around then, because obviously you isolated a bit here. Did you have a motorbike first? Or?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Motorbike and then a car. See, we had a good bus service up top.
All right.
At that time, yes, at that time,
Yeah.
it was on 7:30 in the morning, at 9:30, it ran like that. It went from down here, down in the village, turned round, and back up. And I went straight to St. Column and then Newquay.
Yeah.
There was no going diverting in and around.
No, that's right.
But then they knocked that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're very isolated now. We don't see hardly anybody.
What was village life like then? Did you go down the village much when you was younger?
A fair bit, I think, yeah.
Did they do Cornish wrestling down on the green?
Yeah.
Did they used to do that when you were younger?
Yeah. Wrestling and cricket and fair. They used to have a fair down at one time.
Did they? Yeah. Of course, I expect you knew everybody down there then, didn't they?
You don't know anybody much now.
No.
Well, it's all changed.
And was the Falcon always there then?
Yeah. It was people called Fry at it then.
I know a lot of your generation, you had to go church or chapel every Sunday. Was that the same with you?
Yeah, but if there was a plane that crashed, then we didn't go to church. Mother wouldn't know what our boots is and muddy when we got home. So we had a Liberator crash up here.
Right.
He must have come out before this place was built. The story is he flew in from Canada.
Right.
I don't think he had any bombs on, but he had a lot of ammunition. And he flew in. When he took off again, he only walked about 2 miles up the road.
Oh dear.
He cut the tops off trees, went down right across the field, left 2 great ruts, and then a Cornish edge. You know what Cornish edge is?
Yeah.
He knocked that one open right up. When he come to the next hedge, he stopped and blew up.
Oh.
And 12 men killed.
Oh dear.
No, 11 men killed on that one.
Yeah.
So we used to go up there after they sort of finished guarding it. We had lots of bits and pieces off the plane. We still got them now.
Yeah.
Rob's got, I found a pig cap, partly burnt.
Right.
But with a cap badge in. And he's still got the cap badge now.
Still got it, yeah.
That's with the eagle and, nice thing really.
Yeah.
Be nice to get hold of, to know who owned it.
Exactly.
You don't know whose hat it was.
No.
They wouldn't be wearing it at the time.
No,
Not
that's
a pig
right.
cap. Really.
So what was the make of your motorbike then, your first one?
First one was a Sunbeam.
Right.
And then I had a couple of Nortons. The last Norton I had was a Norton Dominator. I had that one new, actually.
Yeah.
I should have kept that one. He's worth a lot of money.
Oh, he would be now, wouldn't he? So where would you buy that one from then?
Hawkins Motors at St Stephen's.
Oh, yeah. Still there,
Yeah.
And then you went to car after that? Huh?
Yeah.
Did you have to do a driving test or no?
Yes, I did for motorbike, yeah. For a lorry, I was in the service corps. When we come out, they give you a ticket to explain what you've done. We could put that in, and we had our heavy goods. So we had like A, B, and C. Then they brought in a heavy goods license.
Yeah.
That. Yes, my heavy goods took me up to 32 ton.
Yeah.
You couldn't drive anything beyond that. Or an Arctic. You had to have another license for that.
I see.
Or another grade, like, you know.
So your working life, you've seen lots of changes over the years, haven't you?
Yeah.
God,
and that's all we've done, really, is work, you know.
Yeah, it is a bit different now, but it is a lot of your generation. I say, what did he do for hobbies? And a lot of them say, well, we work most of the time.
Yeah, we did,
Yeah.
Yes, Saturdays and Sundays, me and my brother used to come down and sow corn and dig their garden for them.
Yeah.
When I say dig it, you have to dig it properly, you know.
So when you was young and single then, you went to dances, because say you went probus.
Yeah.
Was there anything more local than that, or no?
No, I don't think so.
No.
In the warriors, they all won down in the village hall, but that was mainly, I think, Americans and that.
I suppose there's a lot
We were too young then to go to them anyway. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there was a lot of Americans based around, wasn't there?
Yeah. Mawgan camp was Nissen huts.
Right.
It was all Americans in there at that time. And when I went there to work, they was then going to open it up again. And of course, everything was old-fashioned. Their stoves was cast iron. And they sent us in with hammers to break them up. Oh my gosh, didn't they take some breaking?
Yeah.
You know, it's hard. They weren't cast iron, it's cast steel.
Yeah.
And then they went over to coke fire, and then, well, it was a good job then. The money was rubbish. Like
Was it? Yeah. And how long have you lived here then, in this house?
I bought mine in 1961.
Was Rob born here, or where was Rob born to?
Rob and Ruth.
Yeah. So it's fantastic, looking out the window. Yeah.
On a clear day, I mean, you can see right over St. Column and the clay works, and Rob was born here. They laughed about that because I had to deliver.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I sat up in bed and told me what to do.
Ah. So what did Val do? Did she work then? Or?
Oh yeah, she worked in the office in the packing station in Truro, egg packing station. Then when they moved up to St. Column, she would come up there with them.
Oh, right, yeah.
So she was in there working quite a bit when we got, before we got married, I think.
Yeah, I say there's a few egg packing, because my father used to work in the one in Wadebridge, like, in Glen Road there, so... Yeah.
It's all gone there, wasn't it?
All gone, yeah.
Well, I went into work for a few weeks when I left the drone. I went out for Richards and Osborne. I didn't go too much on that.
No.
And then I went in there for about 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I got this job on Ready Mix.
Was Richards and Osborne, was that a big firm back in the
It was,
day?
Yeah.
You used to see a lot of their lorries on the road. I can remember later on, you know.
That was Peter Richards.
That's right.
He had his hand on the button there. He knew every... And he had a good transport manager.
Did he? Yes.
Oh, yeah. He knew he'd ring somewhere, some docks or something, say, it's who he was. He said, I got a lorry coming in. Can you put 10 ton of cattle food on?
Right.
And the bloke said, yes, the lorry just got here.
Oh, get away.
But yeah, they had a rough idea where they was.
Yeah.
But you had no phones or nothing like that.
No, of course.
No mobile phones.
No sat-nav.
No, none of that. Well, I was on Ready Mix. If we wanted to contact the office, you had to go and the nearest phone box.
Yeah.
Or ask somebody if you could use their phone. That was quite embarrassing at times.
Yeah. How big area did he travel then with a Ready Mix?
I was based at Snowstall plant.
Yeah.
I used to cover, well, I was up to Bodmin and around.
Yeah.
But then if you went further, they had a plant at Bodmin, you went further up. Then you had one in Plymouth, we used to go to. Now that was a very difficult one. When they'd say, or they'd say in Blackpool, that's Snowstall, tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. And when I got home, my missus said, who are you tomorrow? I said, Snowstall, 7 o'clock, no work.
All right.
It was 6 o'clock at A Quarry, Plymouth.
Oh, no.
That's up in Marsh Mills.
Yeah.
And we've done all that job there through.
Yeah, of course the roads weren't so good back then.
No bypasses.
No.
It'd take us best part 2 hours to get to Moorcroft Quarry. And then they had another plant at Bude,
right.
Bridge Road. We used to go there very often. And Tavistock.
So it was all slow journeys back then.
Yeah, you've seen everything at all times of day and night. Like you'd be going out when the sun is just rising.
Yes.
It'd be still there when the sun is going down again.
Yeah. Yeah, long old days.
Yeah, some was, yeah.
Yeah.
Other times you'd be short of work. You'd sit there all day. If you didn't get, if a load didn't come in, you didn't get paid.
Oh,
you only got paid when the work come in.
Yeah.
We did the last, I think, fairly big job, or one at Indian Queens, but on the roads down Logan's Moor, down as you approach Hale.
Oh yes, yeah.
You don't know very big. It's a bridge coming across the road at an angle.
Yeah.
And I think it's 800 metres, and it's about 16,000 tonne winning that one, and that will go in one time. Right. So it's carrying from 2 different plants, one Penryn and one in Camborne.
Yeah.
And I started, I think, I left here probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and I get home. But I was one next morning.
Get away, 124 hours. Yeah.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
I mean, people sent hell at the ministry, but they knew Ready Mix was quite wise. So they went to the police first and said, look, if people complain about the noise of lorries, told them what they were doing.
Yes.
And we would never get bothered then.
Well, thank you, Bob. That was brilliant. There are some lovely memories there, and we'll have part 2 of Bob's interview next week. I thought for me Cornish word of the week, I'd do the Cornish word for bomb, because Bob was talking when the German bomb dropped there on a neighbour's house. So the word for that is tanbellen. Tanbellen. That's the Cornish word for bomb. And for me Cornish dialect, I got 2 or 3 lined up actually. So I think what I will do, I will spread them over the next few weeks. Now the first one, you may have seen on my Facebook page, I put a photo of Mother eating, I think it must be one of the biggest pasties I've ever seen. A massive great pasty. And I thought what I would do, I don't know if this is Cornish or no, but this is what we used to say down here. If you went to eat something and you couldn't finish it because there was just too much on the plate, they'd say, your eyes are bigger than your belly. Your eyes are bigger than your belly. And I'm pretty sure Mother didn't finish that pasty, I tell you. Right, well, I'm going to leave you now. I did meant to say as well, we was thinking of our oldest grandson this week, Jesse, first day at school yesterday. Everything went brilliant. So dear of him, he looked lovely. Looked at the photos, him heading off, all was good. Right, well, I'll leave you there now, and I'll speak to you again next week. So wish you well, do Gannis, Carnobus Vicand.